But let me ask you this question, fanboy. What if Dimitri Bivol decided to tell Zurdo Ramirez that he had a boring style, or that he was a terrible fighter, or that he didn't bring anything to the table? What if Dimitri Bivol said that Zurdo Ramirez was looking for payday? He want payday. What if he said that to him? Huh? What if he said that to him? Would you be okay with that? What it do, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy King David in the motherfucking building. Shout out to the real boxing fans out there. Shout out to the dudes who rep the sport. You know what I mean? Before I get going on this video, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that like button one time for your boy. So yeah, man, I got a new kind of video for y'all today, man. You know what I mean? You know your boy King David be on these internet streets, you know what I mean? These boxing streets, and you know I be out here listening to videos and stuff like that. And I came across a real interesting one here for you. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play some clips, and I'm actually going to react as the clips are being played. You know what I mean? And you know, give you my thoughts on what's being said or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But two major important things I want you to take from this video. Okay, the first is the video is actually about Dimitri Bivol ducking Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, right? But the second main point to take away from it is that this person who's doing the video is an extreme Canelo Alvarez fanboy. Okay, who doesn't like ducking, right? Which is interesting in itself. But those are the two main points I want you to take away from it, man. But without further ado, let's go on and get into the video. I'm gonna play the clip and we're gonna get busy on the reactions. So let's get it.
Dimitri Bivol ducks Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. He ducked him. He turned down the offer. According to Dan Rafael, he rejected the offer from Gilberto Ramirez. And here's the problem. He's doing it in hopes of waiting on a Canelo Alvarez payday. So this guy, you want a payday? This is your king? This is your king?
Okay, so right off the bat, you can hear like the passion and the frustration, you know what I mean, that's exhibited here by this dude in regards to the duck, you know what I'm saying? And one thing, you know, if you listen to King David any longer than a day, if you listen to King David at all, you know King David does not support any ducking, dodging, maneuvering, pivoting at all. You know I don't fuck with that shit. So when it comes to Dimitri Bivol ducking Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, oh, I'm all for that. If he's ducking Zurdo, oh yeah, he need to be called out for ducking, point blank period. You know what I'm saying? But peep the end of that little soliloquy where he starts talking about how he's looking for a Canelo Alvarez payday. Peep that. Alright? I'ma play another clip. Here you go.
He's already ducked him once. This is the second time he's ducked Gilberto Ramirez. The second time, and this is your king? You're okay with this? Is this it? These guys are trash. These guys are trash. This is the guy that's waiting on the payday. It's okay for Canelo Alvarez to fight all these killers, but when you ask for Dimitri Bivol to fight a killer, the guy is rejecting offers. Come on, make it make.
So he said he starts going on a tirade in regards to this being the second time that Dimitri Bivol ducked Gilberto Ramirez. Okay, the second time. But yet, be waiting on a Canelo Alvarez. But who can we think about that Canelo Alvarez has ducked more than 2 times, right? The second time. This is the second time. This is the second time. Well, I believe Canelo Alvarez ducked Demetrius Andrade at least 3 times. I believe Canelo Alvarez ducked Jamal Charlo at least 2 times. I believe that Canelo Alvarez has been ducking David Benavidez in all the top competition in and or around his weight division at least one time. Make that make sense. How is it that you can go ahead and you can say Dimitri Bivol's ducking, and you can get mad and you can get irritated about Dimitri Bivol ducking, but at the same time you support Canelo Alvarez for ducking Demetrius Andrade, ducking Jamal Charlo, ducking David Benavidez, ducking all these guys to go to super middleweight or cruiserweight, should I say? You know what I mean? You're okay with that. Moving past Dimitri Bivol, moving past Artur Beterbiev to go to 200 pounds. You support all that, but you don't support Dimitri Bivol ducking Zurdo Ramirez, which I don't support either, but I keep it consistent, unlike you. But in any case, let's continue. Let's keep this shit going because, you know, it only gets better from here, goddamn. You feel me?
Come on, waiting on a Canelo Alvarez payday. But if everybody says, oh, Canelo needs to fight this guy, so Canelo needs to fight a guy that won't even unify? He needs to fight a guy that's rejecting and ignoring offers? Come on.
I hate when guys try to make it seem like there's some sort of standard that Canelo Alvarez opponents needs to have. Like this guy's not even doing this and this guy's not even doing that, but Canelo Alvarez is supposed to fight him. Like, yeah, like what the fuck are you talking about? If Canelo had a certain standard when it came to his opponents, he would have never fought Rocky Fielding. He would have never fought Avni Udirum. He would have never fought Billy Joe Saunders or Caleb Plant or any of the last 5, 6, maybe even 7 opponents that he's fought in the last few years. He would have never fought any of these guys out of this, because this standard, these standards that you guys, you Canelo Alvarez fanboys, this standard would have never been met. So he would have never fought any of these guys if there was some sort of standard. If these guys needed to have some sort of super resume, Canelo Alvarez probably wouldn't have fought this whole year. He probably wouldn't have fought in the last 3 years, okay? Because Triple G was the last credible opponent that this dude has fought. So, I mean, if there was some sort of super standard for Canelo Alvarez opponents, then we wouldn't have seen Canelo Alvarez in a few years. But for some reason, you dudes, you fanboys, always want to act like these Canelo Alvarez, like Canelo Alvarez opponents need to meet this criteria, and if they don't, then they don't deserve a fight. No, that's just you and your fanboyism, okay? That's really what it is at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, the dude goes on to say, oh, well, you know, Canelo Alvarez, and this was in the last clip, but I'm just now getting around to it. He says Canelo Alvarez has to fight everybody, but these guys don't even want to fight each other. No, sir. We don't want Canelo Alvarez to fight everybody. We just want Canelo Alvarez to fight somebody. Okay? There's a difference. Okay? All the last 5 or 6 opponents Canelo has fought, nobody wanted to see him fight. Okay, he picked these guys and nobody was calling for a fight. Nobody was calling for Caleb Plant. Nobody was calling for Billy Joe Saunders. Nobody was calling for Avni Udirum. Nobody was calling for Rocky Fielding. Nobody was calling for these opponents. Okay, but Canelo decided, for whatever Canelo reason he was going to decide, to jump in the ring with these dudes. Okay, I know what the reason is, because they were the easiest fights, but that's really what it is. So let's stop all this fake ass standard that Canelo Alvarez opponents are supposed to have when it comes to opponents and matching up with Canelo and whether or not they deserve a fight. That's all bullshit and duck language. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it going.
We want to see the best fight the best, but it's unfair. Salute to Oak Cliff, Texas. My brother Boxing Monster in the building. But it's unfair to hold Canelo Alvarez up high to this big old standard. No, I'm not. I take that back. It's unfair to hold Canelo Alvarez to this big ass standard to where he can fight undefeated world champions back to back to back. Everybody says Canelo Alvarez needs to fight everybody. Canelo needs to fight every top champion. He needs to fight Tyson Fury. He needs to fight, Oslander Usyk, Anthony Joshua. He needs to fight everybody.
Like what? Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? Is that the equivalent to Artur Beterbiev and Demetrius Andrade now? Is that what are those the comparisons that we're making? I'm just trying to figure out. Like, is that what we're doing? Like, when did Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder become Demetrius Andrade and Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol and Jamal Charlo? Nobody's asking Canelo to do anything that is outside of what he can do. He can fight these dudes. Nobody's asking the world of Canelo Alvarez, and it's ridiculous for fanboys like you to make those kind of comparisons. What the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, these dudes try so hard to protect Canelo, but at the same time, they want to call people out for ducking. But you're the #1 supporter of the biggest duck in boxing. It's amazing to me, y'all. It's amazing to me. But let's keep this shit going, man. I got a little bit more for y'all.
At the end of the day, don't you want to see the best fights? Don't you want to see the best fight the best? These guys are killers. Why can't they fight each other? Why can't they get it on?
And again, best versus best only seems to come into play when your favorite fighter is protected. When your favorite fighter is doing whatever it is that he wants to do. When your favorite fighter is maneuvering up and down weight divisions without fighting top competition, that's the only time you want to see the best versus the best. You know what I'm saying? But to use your own words, my guy, keep the same energy. If you want to see the best fight the best, then you should be rooting for the fights that we all want to see. You should be rooting for Canelo Alvarez versus Demetrius Andrade. You should be rooting for Canelo Alvarez versus Jamal Charlo. You should be rooting for Canelo Alvarez versus Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol. You should be rooting for these fights because what? That's the best versus the best. Okay? And you shouldn't be rooting for anything less. And yes, of course I agree that a lot of these dudes should be fighting each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. But the fact that they're not fighting each other and the fact that Canelo's not fighting these guys are two completely different arguments. So let me say that shit for the people in the back. Okay? The fact that these guys aren't fighting each other and the fact that Canelo Alvarez isn't fighting them are two completely different arguments. And the fact is, anytime you bring up what somebody else is doing, all right, in order to take attention away from what this guy's doing, that's called a clear-cut deflection. Okay, so I just need to call this bullshit out. You know what I'm saying? It's all bullshit. I hear people doing it all through the internet, and it's not just this dude we listening to here. A lot of these motherfuckers across the internet, okay, preaching the same shit. Okay, making excuses for why Canelo is jumping up and down weight, maneuvering, ducking, dodging, and contorting his way the fuck up out of the way of top competition. Okay, the fact that they not fighting each other has nothing to do with why Canelo is not fighting top opposition. Stop deflecting. It's a clear-cut deflection. Okay, that's like me punching you in the fucking face. Okay, and then when you react to hit my ass back, I say, well, he just hit him in the face. Like, that's what the fuck you guys basically are doing. It's a stupid ass deflection. Okay, Canelo Alvarez is fighting weak opposition. He's cherry picking. He's going in and up. He's going up and down and all around weight classes. Okay, looking for an easy way out. Okay, and that's all there really is to it, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this goddamn video up. But before I do, I got a question for you fanboys. Okay, this fanboy in particular here was upset that Gilberto Ramirez is being ducked by Dimitri Bivol. But let me ask you this question, fanboy. What if Dimitri Bivol decided to tell Zurdo Ramirez that he had a boring style, or that he was a terrible fighter, or that he didn't bring anything to the table? What if Dimitri Bivol said that Zurdo Ramirez was looking for payday? He want payday. What if he said that to him? Huh? What if you said that to him? Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with Zurdo Ramirez? Dimitri Bivol telling Zurdo Ramirez he want payday. Would you be okay with that? Because if you wouldn't be okay with that, then you shouldn't be okay with that when Canelo does the fuck shit to the top quality opposition in and or around his weight division. So I'm going to end up on that note. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button. Subscribe to the motherfucking channel if you're new. And I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.